Hello YouTube. Just when I thought I was just gonna just speak on Jussie for 5 minutes, honey, I got to speak on a whole new plot twist that I'm thinking of. But before that, I just got a notification just as I was in the process of doing this video. I just got back from the store, and they saying that Jussie Smollett actually been doggone indicted and convicted. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Some people saying he hasn't. Some people saying he has. I'm like, well, that can't be the case because a grand indictment is that they have evidence to bring forth to a jury. They saying that they still don't know whether he's innocent or guilty. So how can an indictment come down? An indictment means that they got sufficient enough evidence to prove that he was lying, and they can't just base that off of hearsay from two Nigerians that was on his payroll that was still essentially guilty of committing a crime in the first place, of orchestrating something that has taken from the funds of the police department. Because they orchestrated and were paid higher, whether they were from Jussie Smollett or, in my case, I think they were paid by somebody else. But regardless, they co-conspired with somebody, and it resulted in police officers using their resources where it could have been allocated to other areas. And how much I don't like this bitch right here. I had to agree with Megan McCain on this, honey. Yeah, this is the one time I agree with that doggone fat bitch, honey. She said during the same time frame, a young girl was shot in the head, and they was trying to find the killer during the same time that this Jussie Smollett situation went down in Chicago. Now, those finances that the police and the resources that they had to use exclusively towards Jussie Smollett, they could have been utilizing it towards an actual serious case regarding a young girl's murder. I do believe in that situation right there. So, 1 point for darn gone Megan McCain, but I still can't stand that bitch, honey. But let me look at this right quick. They said Chicago police. Oh, hell. And it's being darn gone reported by Fox News. And once I finish darn gone giving my darn gone theory of what went down, you will see why I can't really trust Fox News on this story, honey. I really can't. Chicago PD, Jussie Smollett took advantage of the pain and anger of racism to promote his career. I'm going to show you how that's a motherfucking lie in a second. The press conference following the arrest of Empire actor Jussie Smollett, Chicago Police Department Superintendent Eddie Johnson says Smollett orchestrated the fake hate crime because he was dissatisfied with his salary, adding that the scam was a slap in the face to the city. Okay, Jussie Smollett been getting paid $20,000 an episode since the inception. Yes, they should finally bump him up. I think they have got bumped up to $40,000 an episode since the last time. I would say that, yeah, they is due for a slight increase, but yeah, I get to why I don't agree with that in a moment. But Chicago cops laid out their case against Empire actor Jussie Smollett Thursday morning, according to the TV star, orchestrating an elaborate hoax involving two bogus hate crimes, one involving an alleged attack, one involving a threatening letter, all in order to get a pay raise. I don't see how that would get him a pay raise, because it's like this happened outside of the damn... Okay, we'll get to that in a moment, but I don't see it from a marketer's perspective. How is this going to... the simply of him getting attacked is going to give him a pay raise on a conservative-based network. So while all y'all motherfuckers talking about this is a liberal host or whatever, we got to still take in consideration that Empire is on a conservative-based network. So I'm still trying to figure out how this pay raise is going to go, but let's entertain the bullshit, honey. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson said Smollett orchestrated the phone attack in order to take advantage of the pain and anger. Yeah. Johnson said at the news conference Thursday that Smollett... he's 36. I thought he was in his 33, 34, but I didn't know he was as old as 36. Also sent a racist and homophobic threatening letter to himself at the Fox studio, allegedly, because unless they tell me that they found only his fingerprints on it and his saliva, and I hope he wasn't dumb enough, because they do test the saliva on the seal of the letters. So unless they have ran DNA and they seen his own saliva on that letter that was sent to him, That's the only way I'm going to believe that he orchestrated this. But until they show me that, I'm still believing that Jussie Smollett might be guilty. So I'm doing a little bit of backpedaling and pussy popping from the last video, and I get to why. Fox studio locked before the attack because he was dissatisfied with his salary. Okay. I'm left hanging my head and asking why a visibly upset Johnson told reporters, why would anyone, especially an African American, I don't like that term, but that's what y'all like to use the symbolism of a noose to make false accusations. How could someone look at the hatred and suffering associated with that symbol? How can an individual who has been embraced by the city of Chicago turn around and slap everyone in this city by making this false claim? Following 3 weeks of mounting suspicion, Smollett, who is accused of filing a false police report, was charged Wednesday with a felony disorderly conduct. He turned himself in at a central booking early Thursday. If convicted, he is faced up to 3 years in prison. So he still not have gone before the jury. I was reading somewhere that he was already tried and convicted by the grand jury. I was like, wait a minute, bitch. It actually takes time. They ain't got no motherfucking evidence to bring forth to the DA to even darn gonna say he's guilty of this shit. Jussie Smollett's siblings defend Empire actor blast media as irresponsible. Smollett told police he was attacked by 2 masked men as he was walking home from a Subway sandwich shop at 2 a.m. on January 29th. The actor, who is black and gay, said the masked men beat him, made derogatory comments, and yeah, this is mad in the country. I think he's putting 20 on 10 on that one, and we'll get to that in a moment. An appearance reference to President Donald Trump campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again," before fleeing. You know what? Little dumb moment. I did not know that's what MATNA actually stood for. I thought MATNA was just a made-up term, but it's actually an acronym for Make America Great Again. Dumbass. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That was a darn gone Whoopi Goldberg, mama. Y'all remember Whoopi didn't know what the OWN network stood for? But it was like Oprah Winfrey Network. She didn't catch that. That's why they named it OWN, Oprah Winfrey Network. Yeah, I had one of those moments. But that isn't how police said it all went down. Johnson said police found the check that Smollett used to pay. Oh, God. I hope he didn't. No. No, okay. Johnson said police found the check that Smollett used to pay the 2 brothers who faked the beating, and he paid them $3,500 for the 2 of them, and then $500 upon return. Wait a minute, was that $3,500 total or $3,500 each? Now that would make a difference, because if he sent both of them a check for $3,500, okay, I'm gonna have to punch Jussie Smollett in his face. But if this is one $3,500 check, I'm gonna strike that out in a moment. He said the attack was staged. The brothers had on gloves during the air quotes staged attack where they punched him a little, but as far as we can tell, the scratching and bruising that you saw on Smollett's face was more likely self-inflicted. Okay, anybody who does forensics work, they will easily be able to tell whether it's self-inflicted wounds or not. I think somebody else, Jussie Smollett, would know that they would be able to, because even down to your fingernails, they would be able to pull up the DNA to see if you self-inflicted your own self. Even the projectile motions of you scratching yourself versus somebody else scratching you, and the pressure that's put on your face from somebody scratching you versus yourself, it would be impossible to make self-inflicted wounds to a certain extent, such as scratching. Who in the fuck is trying to call me right now? Let me check. Lord, somebody will be trying to call me at this moment. And then Google's acting up where I can't hang up. But anyways, back to the story. Y'all just ignore that ringing in the background. As a black man who spent his entire life living in the city of Chicago, Okay, we just going to skip through that. It goes to, he did an interview with Don Lemon. The felony charge emerged on the same day. Detectives and the two brothers who were initially viewed as suspects testified before a grand jury. Okay, so that's where the grand jury came before. So they testified, but it's like, okay, that's a matter of he say, she say. I need some actual proof, bitch. I need to see the check. I need to see the letter. I need to have forensics tell me that they got Jussie Smollett's DNA on that darn seal of that darn letter. That's what I'm going to need to see. I don't need the testimony of two co-conspirators trying to darn get themselves out of trouble. Because why is we making it seem like these guys were falsely accused as opposed to being orchestrated conspirators? They was paid by somebody. So let's not darn phrase it like, oh, they was darn accused. Bitch, you orchestrated this shit. With somebody else that I believe. In a statement to Fox News on Wednesday, Smollett's attorney Todd Powell and Victor Henderson said that the actor enjoys the presumption of innocence. Said he enjoys the presumption of innocence, particularly when there has been an investigation like this one where information both true and false has been repeatedly leaked. They did not provide further comment when contacted by Fox. Police say the investigation shifted after they questioned the two brothers. Okay, and we know what happened with their. And I'm paraphrasing y'all, and it's been 12 minutes. I would leave the link down below, but honey, this is a half-hour read, honey. I'm trying my best to summarize this. I've been skipping over multiple paragraphs. Why would anybody especially? Okay, now they darn on just repeating themselves at the bottom. Then they say Trump slammed Jussie Smollett for smearing supporters. I really don't give a damn what Trump has to say. Smollett has been okay, yeah, we know he's of the LGBTQ community. Then they talking about Senator Kamala Harris and Ellen DeGeneres that were defending him. And that's it in a nutshell. So here's my thing. This is definitely orchestrated. But I'm willing to believe that Jussie Smollett is being set up. And here's why. I believe that Jussie Smollett, when it comes to the check, let's just discredit the check. One of the darn two brothers in question was his personal trainer. And those personal trainers are not cheap. That darn check can easily be explained away by saying that the check was paid to him for his personal training. Hold on, y'all. My nose is acting up. Every damn time I get on here, my nose wants to act up. Don't y'all do me like that, y'all. I know some of y'all say, well, bitch, you talked about funky down leaving your nose running. I don't do none of that damn stuff, honey. This darn on bipolar weather out here. It's darn on. It was 70 degrees yesterday. I mean, it was 40 degrees yesterday. Now it's damn near 70 the motherfucking day. I got my fan turned on today, but then I had to turn on the heat the damn more. Like, I'm tired of this goddamn bipolar weather. But back to this bipolar ass situation. I believe that some orchestration has happened. Now, as far as the check, like I said, one of the guys in question was his personal trainer, and that seems a lot more plausible. That he would be paying him $3,500 to attack him. I mean, $3,500 to train him as opposed to attacking him. Because my thing is this. Jussie Smollett said 2 white men who were Magna supporters attacked him. Now, due to the anatomical structure of these guys, they don't look like the average Trump supporter. So I do believe that Jussie Smollett has enough common sense to know that just off of the sheer size of his friends alone, that would have been suspect to think that they were white people unless they were from the WWE, baby. So yeah, I get to why he said that in a moment, but yeah, I don't believe that Jussie is all the way guilty of this. He is guilty of something, but I'm thinking he's guilty of trying to protect the two brothers. And he was going to do some things behind the scenes to find out who orchestrated the attack on him and use it as a leverage move to increase that darn pay over at darn Empire. I do believe he was being underpaid. I do believe that he could have used this situation to increase his pay. However, I don't think he masterminded the attack to do this. But it would have worked out to his advantage if the snitch at the house didn't call the motherfucking cops. Because if y'all remember earlier, it was reported that Jussie Smollett never called the damn police. It was the darn old person that was at the house that called the damn cops, right? Child, this story is just getting more twisted and twisted, honey. Because I believe Jussie Smollett would have been smart enough where in Chicago, where people are dying of darn old hypothermia and negative 40-degree weather, why would he run the risk of paying two people who are closely associated with him to attack him, who are the complete opposite of the darn old description of which he gave them? I mean, just one wrong camera flash on them two guys, and you can see that they're black as midnight, that they're African, they're not even black American, and that they're anatomically built like darn on bodybuilders. They don't look like the average darn on fat, slouchy darn on country, all smoke and man in a hat supporter of darn on Donald Trump, bitch. So it would have made more sense that Jussie Smollett would have got two homeless people. And it would have worked to the benefit of the homeless guys. Because you thinking that they're suffering in darn on freezing weather. Jussie Smollett approached in an orchestrated attack. They're truly nobodies. I mean, not nobodies from a personal sense, but from not nobody knowing them and can't be connected to Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett could have paid, $100 or $200 to some darn on homeless white, liberals who could have pretended to be some darn on madness supporters. They could have attacked them. Nobody would have hardly been able to find these unknown homeless white people. And even if they did, it would have been a benefit to these homeless white people because they would have been in jail where they now got the benefit of 3 meals in a cot. And if he would have found some homeless liberal white people on the street that already got a felony, they wouldn't have been, pressed about getting another felony charge or whatever. I mean, like I said, would have been off the street. Jussie Smollett would have put some money on their commentary for maybe $1,000, and then they would have been charged with the attack on a black gay man. Oh, the Republicans show enough country in the woods motherfuckers that truly support Trump when they had an extra couple $1,000s on their darn own commissary. So if Jussie Smollett would have did this, I believe he would have got some liberal white people to pretend to be darn on conservatives to attack him. They would have had the privilege of being in jail off the street where they get 3 meals in a darn on cot. They would have darn on got support from darn on Jussie Smollett behind the scenes with some additional money on the books. And it would have totaled less than $3,500. And then they would have got tens of thousands of dollars in commissary from darn on Trump supporters. Because we know how they get down. You seen how they darn on still support George Zimmerman to this day, even after he was found guilty of darn on beating his wife. He's found guilty of attacking several other darn on people. He's found guilty of disobeying police officers. And even on the night that he killed Trayvon Martin, he disrespected the darn on police dispatch officer when the dispatch officer gave him a command not to pursue Trayvon Martin, and he did anyway. But y'all over there on the Republican side, y'all be the main ones talking about darn on Blue Lives Matter, but y'all don't even talk about when darn on Trayvon Martin disrespected the dispatch officer, which led to the darn on killing of darn on Trayvon Martin. But y'all be the same motherfuckers that talk about Blue Lives Matter and you should respect the officers. But y'all don't never darn gonna point out when he disrespected the dispatch officer. And if he would have just waited for the cops to come and do their job, Trayvon Martin would be alive today. But y'all just keep holding that L though. Back to darn on Jussie Smollett. I believe the darn on Africans and Nigerian scammers by nature, honey. They was paid, and I'm going to say allegedly, they were paid by Fox Network, and they was paid by, and Lee Daniels was complicit with the shit to a certain extent. Because Empire is on Fox. So while people keep saying that he did this for his career, it don't make no sense. because Fox is a dominantly conservative-based network that only hires gay people for affirmative action purposes. They got that darn one token white gay person that speaks in the news sector. They got Lawrence over there on Star. Empire, they got Jussie as the one lone star gay person on the show. And in his occasional hookups every now and again. And now he's with this darn British black guy who, is supposed to be a reporter. They were tolerable of his character at best. They don't really fuck with the LGBTQ community. They just put him in there as the token pick on the bequest of darn Lee Daniels. Lee Daniels being the gay man that he is, they say, no, bitch, you ain't about to darn bring everybody over here. You still are subject to limitations. You get to pick one, and Jussie was that one. But here's the thing when it comes to gay people on darn Fox Network. They only allow gay people on Fox Network as long as they are projecting negativity towards the community, which, Jussie, is promiscuous just like everybody else on the damn show. Everybody's a motherfucking hoe on the damn show. Taraji's a hoe. Lucius Lyons is a motherfucking hoe. And the real life character of Lucius Lyons, Terrence Howard, he's a hoe in real life. Art imitating life. Yaz is a hoe. Not in real life, but on the show he's a hoe. Everybody's a damn hoe. Everybody's a damn hoe but Becky, honey. Becky was the only monogamous bitch on the damn show. So, getting that out the way. I believe once he started speaking on pro-black issues, because remember in the beginning, he wasn't even out the closet. He came out the closet, and on the show, he came out the closet in way of the show, and then in real life. And then that was okay. Until he started speaking on pro-black issues. Because they want to separate the black LGBTs from the regular black conscious community. You can't be both at the same time. You can't talk about the struggles that you get dealt with on your sexuality. Because your sexuality shouldn't be anybody's business. But if it ain't anybody's business, how come I keep getting judged simply off of my sexuality, what I do in the bedroom? Like, what is me going into a public restaurant and me being in a gay relationship have to do with you serving me or not? What does that have to do with you making me a cake or not? What does that have to do with me getting insurance or not? But day in and day out, for something that should be exclusive to talks in the bedroom, LGBTs are still subject to discrimination on something that, we all agree with shouldn't be anybody's business but the partner that you fucking with. But however, LGBT people, I am in that sector, we have to deal with discrimination that falls in it, even with housing discrimination. If they find out that you of the LGBTQ community in the Deep South, you may be denied, getting a house in North Carolina. Most people don't speak on that issue though. And let me blow my nose one more time, y'all. But yeah, I done lost my train of thought, y'all. Had to blow my nose again. But that's my thoughts on this situation. It's orchestrated on behalf of, I want to say, Fox was getting tired of Jussie Smollett speaking that pro-black shit, because that's how they view it. Oh, you over there speaking pro-blackness. Okay, we'll tolerate the gayness to a certain extent. You can be gay as long as you're not speaking in no opposition-like manner. They like the gays that are to get along, to just act ghetto and hoish and all of that. But when you have some gay men that are speaking some positivity, like a Don Lemon or something that's going to hold them to task, oh hell fuck no, they ain't fucking with that. You got to go. You got to motherfucking go. And that's what I feel that darn Jussie Smollett got himself into. They say, oh no bitch, you speaking too much pro-blackness over here. You over here making pro-black videos and shit. You over here speaking on Black Lives Matter and shit. There's an unspoken rule on Fox that you don't talk about this. Even if you have a talk show, Wendy Williams, her shit's based on Fox. You notice when it came to certain situations, she teeter-totter. She'll tell you on purpose why she only sticks to entertainment. That if she can help it, she don't like to go into the motherfucking darn on personal shit because she know she say some liberal shit, her motherfucking ass out the damn door. And hell, she already struggling to get back on her shit any damn way. It's darn on February 21st. Now, here we go again when it's been over a month. Your ass, based on your own predictions, you should be back on this damn Monday. We're going to see if Wendy comes on the show Monday. Now, it was January 15th, January 22nd. You needed an extra couple weeks off. Okay, now, bitch, you been out since December. It's now February. The average darn on sprain only takes about 6 weeks to heal up. So it's been 2 months. We're going to see Wendell Bartholomew Orthendal Pookie Williams come darn on Monday. But anyways, back to darn on Jussie Smollett and his Fox scandal. I believe Fox paid the darn on Nigerians. They needed the money. That, you know, some of them are scammers by nature, and that doesn't go. I'm sorry to my subscribers who are from Nigeria. I'm just calling it out. It is what it is for some of your cousins and them out there. I believe they took that money and they ran up on Jussie. And Jussie was so perplexed because he was just hanging out with them earlier that day. And now, come nighttime, he darn gonna call them and say, hey, meet me at the darn gone Subway or whatever. I'm about to go get me a sub real quick. And I believe they had a casual hookup relationship, and that makes it more personal. So, to his surprise, they were being attacked, and in the midst of the confusion, they had to tell him that, you know, they just had to fake like they attacking him. He was not prepped on this because they was hired by Fox to attack him, allegedly. And they had to make it look good. Because you know damn well the way these two guys are shaped. Let me go ahead and show you a picture. Jussie should not have just looked like this. He should have looked more like Rihanna. And out of respect for Rihanna, I won't show what she looked like. But darn on, just based off of the darn on structure of what those two guys look like, he should have been beat up more like Rihanna versus darn on a few scratches on his face. So I believe the darn on Nigerian men wanted to just hit them enough to show a message that they did their job and they was going to get their pay. Jussie Smollett got put up on game that somebody now is darn gonna send the message that you better shut the fuck up. Now I believe that if the darn gonna snitch in the house, because y'all remember once again, I told y'all earlier, Jussie never called the police. It was the older guy that was at his house, the manager, accountant, or whatever he is to Jussie. Might have been the sugar daddy. I don't know. Never know these days. But anyways, the guy in the house was the one that called the police, and that fucked up the whole situation. Because I believe Jussie Smollett was going to let this situation ride and let the guys go back to whoever hired them and darn gonna tell them, yeah, we darn gonna give Jussie Smollett the message darn gonna calm down. And then that we'll be back. And then this is how it is. But the guys were going to be, you know, double spying on behalf of Jussie. Because I believe that they would have flipped on behalf of Jussie to darn gonna get the information back to Jussie to darn gonna bring the power move to him so he can get the paycheck. So now y'all see where this is going. The Nigerians were allegedly hired by Fox. They was Lee Daniels had to get along with the get along because he's a corruptus at best. So he was fine, and as long as his money's good. So the two Nigerians, they were darn gonna getting the money from these people. They just lightly tapped darn on Jussie because they still darn on fucks with them. But at the end of the day, money is money to them. Now, this is how corrupt they would have been on. They would have darn gone flipped on behalf of Jussie, and Jussie would have used this to his advantage to act like, okay, yeah, they attacked me and we no longer cool, this, that, and the third. And on the surface level, behind the scenes, it would have seemed like there's a rift. But meanwhile, they both still cool. I mean, all three of them still cool. And the guys would have went back and would have gotten some evidence to bring back to Jussie. And then Jussie could have used that evidence along with the testimony of the two guys to then use as a power move, because then he would have had direct evidence that there was an orchestrated hit out on him on behalf of Fox, and with Lee Daniels being complacent, and that would have gave him enough doggone incentives of bribery underneath his belt where he could have doggone facilitated a higher paycheck. And yes, that's why I believe he didn't want to come through with that phone, because I believe he contacted those brothers to doggone up them on game, or this is what we're going to do. And if that would have been the case, Jussie Smollett would have still got in trouble with doggone attempted blackmail. Well, it wouldn't have even been attempted because it wasn't even set in motion, but it would have disrupted that doggone blackmail from happening. Because if they would have tipped off the police, it would have been too soon. Police would have made a public statement, and multi-billion-dollar conglomerate that just got $90 billion from Disney, they got more than enough money to hush up this. Pay some doggone police officers off. How much the salary is for police officers in Chicago? $40,000-$50,000 a year. You trying to take on this billion-dollar network that just got a $90 billion payout from motherfucking Disney? Come on now. You can't just be out here making public statements. So I believe Jussie Smollett was trying to play the game of doggone taking them on behind the scenes. But the doggone white man, and it would be a white man that will fuck up the shit, that he called the police and he had to come up with a lie. So just on the case of if they see two black men down the street on multiple cameras, he had to say it was two white men, which hence why he described them as the total opposite, not to get his doggone friends, aka associate bodybuilder, and I would say former friends, because after all this is like, okay, I'm glad you put me up on game that somebody attacked me and you didn't fully try to attack me, but the fact that you didn't prep me to this in the beginning, oh bitch, we no longer friends, but we can still get this money though. So I don't have y'all asses arrested. I'm going to need y'all to go back, and because I believe because it makes sense to me. That's why he was so reluctant to give up the phone information and all that, because I believe that once he got attacked and they told him that they just had to make it look good to get their paycheck from whoever hired them, he darn gonna had them turn spy to get some information on who ordered the hit. I think Fox, in my opinion, allegedly. And once they would have got the information back to Jussie, and he would have made some secure copies, that way if they try to do something to him, several other people got the information upon his death. That way he could have darn on facilitated a bribery to secure the bag. That's what I believe went down with darn on Jussie Smollett. But the darn on police being called is what fucked the whole shit up. If the police was never called, he would have more likely did that instead. The darn on Nigerians would have got paid twice over, because they got paid for the hit for the first time they went after Jussie, and then Jussie would have darn on paid them for turning spy and getting information, which would have secured the pay raise. And everything's good. Now the friendship is done, but bitch, we can still be good associates, and on behalf of the gayness and the black struggle, honey, we can all secure this motherfucker bag, bitch. We can all secure this bag. And Lee Daniels, you ain't, your bitch ass ain't speak up on my behalf. That's good, but I'm still going to be here wrapping up on this camera on Empire with a motherfucking darn gonna double increase in pay. That's how that shit would have went down. But whoever was at that house that called it darn gone cops, they fucked up the whole motherfucking plan. And that's how I believe this whole entire shit went down. That this shit was orchestrated on behalf of Fox, sending out a message. The darn gone guys felt sorry. They really didn't want to beat them up like that, but they had to make it look good. Jussie was going to go along with it, and then have them turn spy and get information on who ordered the hit, and then he would have used that to his advantage to get the pay. So I believe he was in it for an increased check at Empire. He was darn on having them guys hired, and some messages would corroborate that, but it was more so after he got attacked by them who was hired from the first darn on orchestrated hit. I don't think he orchestrated the hit, but he was going to use this orchestrated hit to his motherfucking advantage. Instead of going straight to the cops, which wouldn't have did nothing, because like I said, what is the cops going to do against a multi-billion-dollar company? Y'all motherfuckers can't even arrest darn on poor broke ass darn on bitches like darn on George Zimmerman. What the hell y'all look like doing taking on a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate? One darn on $100,000 paycheck come across one of them cops' desk, you know they darn gonna turn the other way. And it's a black gay man too, shit. The black community don't even fuck with black LGBTs. So it'd be easy to just slide for Fox to slide a darn on $100,000 paycheck to any officer, and all of a sudden the officer ain't seen shit, paperwork and stuff, laws. We don't know what the world happened. Come on now. Why y'all think they took darn on Shades of Blue Star and darn on J-Lo off there? Soon as some darn on shows start revealing some true tea, they take shit off. Why you think darn on Law and Order SVU don't never go into those types of topics, honey? Because once again, once you start talking all on that level, honey, it's over for you. It's over for you. I'm so over this with my code and whatever. But anyways, y'all leave y'all thoughts. That's my darn own plot twist. I believe that this shit is orchestrated, but it was orchestrated on behalf of Fox, allegedly. And allegedly darn on Jussie Smollett was going to use this to his advantage. And the Nigerian boys, they were darn on happy either way because they're going to get paid over here and they getting paid from Jussie. So bitch, they getting paid twice. You know how Nigerians are. So it's like, bitch, they getting paid over here and they getting paid over here. But then this white bitch had to darn on ruin everything and call the cops, and I had to make up a story to throw off the trail and say 2 white people did it. But then the whole shit backfired, and now it works to darn on Fox advantage because now they get to play like they was for darn on gay rights and everything all along. And it's like, okay, bitch, y'all be the main ones talking shit on y'all darn on network. And now all of a sudden y'all advocacies for darn on gay rights and Black Lives Matter and shit. Oh, y'all for the rights of the darn on black LGBTQ community all of a sudden, okay. Like I said, I would be so pissed off of whoever called them cops. Jussie Smollett is guilty of darn on covering up on behalf of his former friends, still good associates that he was darn on allegedly working with in cahoots to darn on find out more concrete information and evidence on who ordered the hit, which we know is Fox, allegedly. That's what I believe. What y'all think? What do y'all think of that theory? Y'all can't tell me Fox didn't order this hit to shut darn on Jussie up, and Jussie was darn on going to flip the script and blackmail Fox and get the darn on bag. Because like I said, if they would have took this to the cops directly, honey, a $100,000 paycheck would have came across that desk. Even the darn on police sergeant would have turned the other damn way, honey. So I believe that Jussie is just guilty of darn on being caught, darn on trying to orchestrate whoever attacked him. He was guilty of facilitating a blackmail in progress. That's what I think he's guilty of. He was going to flip that situation to his advantage and darn on commit blackmail, which is still wrong, but hell, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. These motherfuckers darn on had my former Ace Boone Coons darn on attack me. I'm going to use these same Ace Boone Coons to attack them. For every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. That's what I think Jussie Smollett was doing. Because like I said, if this was orchestrated by Jussie Smollett, don't you think he would have came out far cheaper and more profitable actually hiring 2 strangers that cannot be associated with him? 2 homeless people on the damn street. Don't you think that would have been more beneficial? And then they would have benefited from being in jail, from not being in the ice cold. And darn on, they had the money from Jussie Smollett that's untraceable because he would have had cash for them. He wouldn't have had no check. And it's like, who would darn on leave an obvious paper trail and check? That don't make no damn sense. You telling me he orchestrated a hit on his damn self and he would use a check, as opposed to the check was the darn on give to the body trainer? Because one of the guys, like I said, was his body trainer, and you know that's still a job that needs to be verified as far as end of the year taxes. So it makes sense that he needed to be paid instead of cash in the form of a check. If you ordering an orchestrated hit, you know you never use no doggone common paper trail that can be traced back to your personal bank number. Like, come on now, how stupid do you think somebody is? You expect me to believe that Jussie Smollett is stupid enough to use his own personal checking account just to give to somebody for an orchestrated attack, as opposed to giving that $3,500 to the brother for training him, because he is verified to be Jussie Smollett's personal trainer? But like I said, this is my theory. This is all alleged speculation. I hope my theory is more so accurate, because I hate to have to darn punch Jussie Smollett in the face. I think my darn theory is more accurate, but y'all leave y'all thoughts down below. If you have a different theory, leave it down below. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.